Okay, so today we are going to solve multi-step problems, but first we need to review a bit about line plots. So let's look here at this line plot. What do the x's tell us on this line plot? Let's see, it has a title, length of a pencil, feet. Then it has a measurement on a number line, 1/3, because if we remember, a line plot has x's and it has a number line. Well, this tells us that 1, 2, 3, 4 pencils had a length of 1/3 foot. 1, 2, 3, 4 pencils had a length of 1 foot. So that's how we can learn to read a line plot. Let's look at this first problem. There's quite a few steps here, but we're going to have to take it slowly. 6 friends shared several foot-long submarine sandwiches. The table shows the amount each friend ate. Make a line plot of the lengths in the table. Okay, so let's make a line plot. Here I see 1/3 appearing there. I'm going to go ahead and cross that off. Here I see 1/2. Cross that off. 1/3. Cross that off. 1/4. Cross that off. 1/3 and 1/4. Each of these represents a sandwich length in feet. So how many sandwiches were 1/4 foot according to our table? Well, we had 2 sandwiches, which means that we see it on our line plot 2 times. 1/3, we had 1, 2, 3. We had 3 1/3 size sandwiches, and we had 1 1/2 size sandwich. So now we've taken our information and put it into a line plot. And we should have 6 because there were 6 friends who shared. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. They shared a submarine sandwich. The table shows the amount each friend ate. We made a line plot. Take the total lengths of these sandwiches. If they had shared fairly, because here they did not share fairly, if they had shared fairly among the 6 friends, what amount would each friend receive? Okay, so if this is the size of a sandwich, a full 1 whole submarine sandwich, and I see that I had some different amounts. Okay, how would you go about finding the total length of the sandwiches? The total length to figure out how many sandwiches we had. Well, for me, I would look and I would see that these 3 have the same denominator. So I would group those together. 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3. Then I see that these 2 have the same denominator. So I would group them as 1/4 plus 1/4. And then I'll add this 1/2 at the very end so that I get all my values in there. Well, 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, if I put them together, they should equal my 1 whole, which was the 3/3, giving us 1 whole. Okay. If I have my 1/4 and I put them together, I get 2/4, which is the same as 1/2, because I can divide top and bottom by 2 to get 1/2. And then I'm going to add that half to this other half here. So if I have 1/2 plus 1/2, together that will make 1 whole. Together that will make 1 whole. So now my problem has become 1 plus 1 whole, which gives me 2. So what's the total amount that we're sharing among the friends? We're sharing the 2 sandwiches. We're sharing the 2 sandwiches. That's how much, if I combine all of these together, how many whole sandwiches I would have. Well, now I'm going to take those 2 sandwiches and split them up into how many groups? Well, we're sharing those 2 sandwiches with 6 friends. So we can go ahead and write 2, 6. So if I cut this up into 6 equal, I'm trying to do equal pieces, 6 equal pieces, how much of a whole would each person get? How much of the whole would each person get? Well, I can divide this by 2, divide this by 2, and I see each person would get 1/3 of a sandwich. 1/3 of a sandwich. I'm going to go ahead and look. If we fair share, each friend would get 1/3 of a submarine sandwich. 1/3. Okay. Let's look at our next problem. 3 friends sat down to have iced tea. The table shows the amount each friend drinks. Make a line plot of the amount in the table. So I'm going to go ahead and start with 0. I'm going to go ahead and go up to 1 whole because I see none of my values are equal to 1 whole. Or I'm sorry, greater than 1 whole. I like to split that in half, which would be my 1/2. Half of half gives me 1/4, and half of 1/4 gives me 1/8. So, how many of my friends had 1/8 iced tea? Well, I'll have an X here. I have an X here because one person had a 1/4, and an X here because another person had 1/8. So, find the total amount of iced tea. So, if, again, we put together, if we had taken the amount that they drank and we poured it back into 1 cup or 1 glass, how much iced tea would there be? How much would each friend receive if they shared that same amount fairly? So let's go ahead and group our common denominators because those are the easiest for us to add right away. We have 1/8 plus 1/8, and then we'll add to that 1/4. 1/8 plus 1/8 gives me 2/8. 2/8 can be reduced by 2. Simplified by 2 giving me 1/4. So now we have 1/4 plus 1/4 giving me 2/4. And 2/4 is the same as 1/2. When I divide top and bottom, the numerator and denominator both by 2. So I have a total of 1/2 quarts of iced tea. That's the amount that I'm going to be splitting up now that I want to make it fair. So I'm going to do my 1/2. Draw a little line here so we can see the difference between them. I have my 1/2, and I'm splitting that again into how many groups? How many people are going to share this 1/2 quart of iced tea? Well, it's going to be those 3 people. Here we have a complex fraction, so I can rewrite this as a division problem. Remember, our sharing comes first, divided by those groups. We're sharing the 1/2, and we're splitting it into 3 groups. Ask yourself, this is some review for us. How do we divide 1/2 by 3? 1/2 divided by 3. Oh, that's right. We do something called keep, change, flip, or multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to keep the first fraction, change to multiplication. And before I can flip it, let's make this a fraction. Oh, it's 3 over 1, so if I flip it, the reciprocal is 1/3. 1/2 times 1/3. Let's see, 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 3 is 3. So if they shared fairly, each friend would have gotten 1/3 of a quart of iced tea. 1/3. So in this lesson, what we've mainly done was we created a line plot from the information given. Line plots sometimes help us group those common denominators, so it makes it easier for us to add them. When we cannot add fractions without a common denominator. Once we did that, we had to figure out how much total sandwiches, how much total iced tea did we have, so that we could have split it up fairly, which they did not do at the beginning. So here we found we had 2 total feet of sandwiches, 2 total feet of sandwiches, and if we had cut that up for the 6 people so they each got the same amount, we'd have 1/3. Here we had 1/2 total quarts of iced tea, and if we split that up among the 3 people, each person would end up with 2 times 3 is 6. Each person would end up with 1/6 of a quart of iced tea. 1/6. Okay, thank you so much.